Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Project Zomboid, 10 years later as an Insurgent, on a top secret mission. So, we've taken care of our wounds, at least for the time being. I do need to bandage this as well, I've forgotten to do that, so let's do so. And with the aforementioned bandaging, we're now, I think, ready to actually start playing. Like I mentioned in the initial setup video, which if you haven't seen and you want to know a little bit more about the series, what kind of mods I'm using, what are the settings with survival, or rather the survival settings, sandbox settings, etc., you can check that out. For now though, let's get ready, I suppose, and hop to it. I like to carry a sheet of paper with me around, and I like to rename it to to-do list. And this genuinely helps me focus a lot. So just want to make it clear I'm not doing that. I mean, I have written journals and stuff like that in character in this game, and it's really fun because it helps you sort of makes you a little bit more attached to your character, I suppose. It makes you care about him a little bit more, etc., etc. A little bit more immersive, a little bit more fun. That's good, but right now I'm doing that for strictly pragmatic purposes. I want to focus on the stuff that I need to do, and that's a good way of doing it. Is just have a to-do list. Now, I'm carrying quite a bit of stuff around. Yeah, I did see him. I sort of didn't expect it. I'll see it, I suppose. Yeah, you get the point. Okay. I mean, don't know what to say, don't know where it came from. So, initially, we're looking at antenna, I guess, because it's a wreck, I suppose. Empty notebook, I need that to make a journal, in case my character dies, although not really going to be a concern here. If the character dies, he's dead. I'm not going to pick up with a different Insurgent or something along those lines, but the story goes, due to poor weather conditions... Well, no, actually, weather conditions weren't poor. Due to some pilot error or, I don't know, something on the ground, helicopter crashed, and as a result, we are separated from the rest of our team. We don't know what happened to them, though I highly doubt any of them made it alive. I was the first out of the helicopter, and probably scattered somewhere around Knox County. We may encounter them in, their living or undead form. We will see. But yeah, the objective still remains the same, though. We need to get to the secret military base and retrieve those special items. But judging by how I fared, I do not hold out much hope for my brothers in arms, as they say. Ooh, karambit knife. I like to take those just because of the way they look. Nothing more. I'm going to have some vanity projects, as I'm sure you will see eventually. Initially, I'm using the combat knife to do most of the fighting, because the machete is way more powerful, but I don't want to waste it. I don't want to waste its ability. Screwdriver, very important for construction and stuff. Obviously, the main problem here is I don't exactly know where the secret military base is, or I do, but my character doesn't. And as a result, we're going to need to set up shop here in the... No, I have to kill him, I can't knock him over. I'm gonna knock him over and stomp him to death to try and preserve some of the clothing, but... it's already busted anyway, right? Stalker gloves, stalker gas mask. Slightly better than the Insurgent gas mask. Shite. This is what I was talking about. The feral ones are a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. And my head's been infected again. Lovely. I don't think this is working as it should. Everything on you gets infected all the time. I don't mean like zombified infected, I mean like infected... Right. I mean like infected, in the sense of you have an infection. And it happens all the bloody time, like, to a ridiculous degree. Oh, there's a weapon inside that person. EAA Witness Pistol, 45 ACP. Well, I'll take it. It's a different caliber, so find some 45 ACP ammo. Who knows? Why not? Right, that should be... There's going to be a lot of them over there, isn't there? There's another feral one. Jesus! Alright. Spear with bread knife. No, sorry, not really. My thing, spears in general, although... For a character that knows how to use them, could be one of the best weapons in the game. Yeah, see, that's what I was saying. Like, one of them I can deal with, but there's multiple. It's a little bit too difficult. I'll be brutally honest with you. Right, so we have a couple more to clear out from this area. And then we can get to looting. Hopefully find some food, etc., etc. Start clearing out these buildings. There's another feral one. I get the feeling I'm being pretty unlucky with these. But I kind of don't mind, as long as I see them coming. Prefer to fight ferals like this, when there's 2 or 3 zombies isolated. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Let's get out of here. See if they're coming my way. The screeching ones attract other zombies in the area and almost sort of form a mini horde as soon as you alert them. They don't always scream instantly, but... Alright, that should be it. Should be at least a little bit safer now to clean stuff up, I guess. Well, not clean stuff up, but I was cleaning a bandage, that's why I said that. To loot up this general area. I mean, here's hoping, right? Keep an eye on the street. And let's keep going. Tell you what, one of my favourite parts about Raven Creek, I've played on this map before, is the verticality. There's so many tall buildings, and in the rest of Knox County there's barely any. There's some in Louisville, but even then it's like really not that many. But in Raven Creek there's a ton of verticality, and I really like it. So I suppose for some of you guys that haven't played Project Zomboid before, I should explain what the game is, I guess. So what it is, when you take away the 5 billion mods that I've installed, is the ultimate zombie survival sandbox. Now this entire sort of mission thing that I have going on is just part of the mod, and it's just a personal thing that I'm trying to do, but the vanilla game, there isn't any quests or missions or anything like that. You basically wake up, there's a zombie apocalypse, and your job is to survive for as long as possible. That's it. And it's an incredibly detailed zombie survival game. It's probably the most detailed survival game I've ever seen, and it's so good. It's absolutely amazing. I definitely fully recommend that you give it a go for yourselves if you haven't played it. Mind you, your experience will probably be a little bit different than this. The map will probably look a little bit different than this. Like I said, there's a lot of mods going into this, but even without them, the vanilla game is just incredible. I've just played a ton of it, and there's tons of playthroughs with the vanilla game on YouTube that I didn't really see a point in doing like that. But like this, it seems like I'll put my creative juices to work a little bit, and I'll get some... I get like a cool story going as well as a cool playthrough at the same time, so that's why I'm doing it like this. But anyways, speaking of new players and stuff, I'll probably, or rather I should probably, start explaining what I'm doing and where this is going. So like I said, I don't know where this military base is, but I do know it's not exactly nearby. So, obviously, the first thing we're going to need is a vehicle to get to said military base, but that's only one small part of the equation, right? I need guns, I need ammo, I need food, I need to survive, because it's not a problem of just get to the military base. I need to take the items from the military base. I may need to leave the map somehow at this point. Whether that will be possible or not, I don't know. So I need to do that. I need to actually have enough ammo, weapons, food, etc., to get to the military base, clear out the military base if it's full of infected. And then on top of that, I'll need to make it out, and etc., It's going to be, out of the military base and then out of the map, and it's a whole thing, right? It's a whole process that I need to go through. So obviously, I can't just beeline it straight for the objective is what I'm trying to get at, so I need to prepare. How do we prepare? Well, for now, I need the very basic stuff. I need ammo, I need a silencer, ideally, for any of my guns, so that I'm actually able to use them, because, newsflash, gun shots... Sorry, I'm always get a little bit tense when I'm walking upstairs. Gunshots are loud, and this is one of those games where the sound of bullets flying, whizzing through the air, the gunpowder burning, etc., produce such a infernally loud noise that, from a subjective point of view, the number of zombies with each trigger pull and each you know, successfully fired round, in fact, increases, regardless of whether you're hitting your targets or not. My point is, it's so loud, it's going to attract zombies from all across the map that you can't kill all of them. I mean, you're going to need literally probably a couple of hundred rounds of rifle ammo to put down a sizable enough number of zombies to where you've killed the ones in front of you and you've killed all the ones that were drawn in by the noise. So yeah, that's a whole separate thing, right? And so if we're going to do that, then yeah. It'll have to be with a silencer. I mean, not necessarily. It doesn't have to be with a silencer. You just need enough ammo, like I said, to kill the ones in front of you and the ones that were drawn in by the gunshots. But it's risky. With sprinter zombies, it's even more risky. It's a problem, trust me. It's a problem we don't want to have. Right, so I'll get rid of all of that. Now, with that in mind, I'm going to loot these buildings and try and find just some basic survival items. What are basic survival items? Well, one of those items is painkillers. So we need pretty much your typical post-apocalypse kind of stuff, right? Melee weapons, ammo, food, useful tools, etc., etc. But some of the more specific, it's pretty much like every zombie movie, right? They always need the same thing, and whenever there's a problem and crisis in real life, you pretty much need the same thing. And toilet paper, which is in this game, but you don't really need it. But yeah, on top of that, on top of the toilet paper, pretty much everything else that you generally need in a crisis area situation, rather, you need in this game too. However, there are a few specific items that I really want to get. And those items are a screwdriver, which I have, a hammer, and a saw. This allows you to start building, allows you to start working on carpentry, i.e. it'll allow you to start actually constructing things, walls, desk, tables, etc., etc. I'm also looking for magazines currently. Ooh, aluminium baseball bat. Nice. Melee weapons, obviously, because you do use them up, and if they break, you just have to toss them and replace them with something else. So, yeah, melee weapons are a big thing, but I'm also looking for books and magazines. Magazines, not for the weapons, but actual, paper magazines to read. The reason is they have very, very useful information. They can either teach you crafting recipes, which is very valuable, obviously, or... Was I in here? I don't think I was. Or they can... well, pretty much most of them are just crafting recipes, right? I think. Let me think for a minute. There's a couple, it's just there's crafting recipe. There's one of them can teach you how to use generators, which in this mod is vital because we don't have any electricity. And even if we find a generator, we won't be able to use it until we actually learn how to from a magazine. So, yeah, education items, basically, that'll increase our skills and our capabilities in terms of crafting and handling ourselves in the area, I suppose. Right? Okay. So I think we've cleaned out this building. And we can actually mark that on the map. Okay, a few more zombies than I expected outside. But that's okay, I suppose. And ooh, there's a lot of them over there. Alright, they haven't seen me. So I reckon I can just sneak past all of this. And into this building. I want to take out that screecher before it, appropriately enough, starts screeching. Well, it screeched as it died. Yeah, it drew in a couple. That's okay, though. I don't think there's that many around. Famous last words, I'm well aware. Okay, some more painkillers. Can we please pick them up? Thank you. Now, the most basic tip when it comes to combat: attack while moving backwards from the zombie. A lot of people just stay still and hit like this. It's not very good. When you're fighting one-on-one, who cares, right? You'll kill it always. But when there's multiple like this, okay, so there's okay, it's two regular ones I can show you. You hit, and then whoop, there you go. See? You get overwhelmed even if there's only two. So keep swinging, but keep going backwards as you do. It'll just afford you so much more space and make fighting so much more comfortable. And it doesn't have any negative effects, like towards your accuracy or your damage or your chance of hitting them or whatever. As you can see, it doesn't matter if I'm standing still or moving backwards. As long as you actually hit them, that's all that matters. Use the knife a little bit more. Ah, this one's a grabber. These ones are ridiculously dangerous. Wrestlers and grabbers are... Ooh. I can end you really quickly. The Decayed are the least dangerous because they're the slowest. Skeletons are just honestly more of a joke than anything else, as you'd expect, but yeah. Alright. Let's get out of the street, get into this building, and start looting here as well. Completely empty, wow. Alright. Oh, is this like a new apartment that nobody's moved into? Probably, right? Okay, I'm gonna take some painkillers. Oh, hello. Okay, I'm going to teach you another trick. If you stand on top of them, they can't get up. Didn't expect that one to be feral. Shite. Alright. Read this map. Man, this is going to be tough. If that was a wrestler, that fight would have gone differently. Just saying. Yeah, this is tough. I mean, the first few days in the game are usually the toughest. Simply because, well, lack of skills, lack of equipment and everything. But also lack of a safe zone. Like, they can come from anywhere. And you don't really know where any of the local hordes are, if there's larger groups of enemies or something like that, you don't really have any information. As soon as you set up a base of some description, you're much better off. And speaking of base, I kind of have two options for this run that I want to do. Because I've done, like, you know, gated communities. There's, for those that haven't played the game, basically there's spots on the map where it's ideal to set up a base. Because usually those spots are, well, they have plenty of resources nearby, but the most common feature, I think, most of these spots have is they're easily defended. And by that I mean they're usually walled off and zombies cannot access these locations easily. Sometimes they have walls from all three sides and only a narrow corridor through which zombies can enter, and you can wall that off and block it off somehow, and basically you're perfectly safe. And yeah, it is possible to create areas where zombies cannot enter. In fact, you can do that here as well, like in this building, if you break the stairway. Well, great, Juggernaut, how do I get down? Yeah, there's a way. There's a way. You can put up a rope ladder from a window all the way down, and they're very, very simple to make. And then you can get down and up that rope ladder, but zombies don't know how to climb it, which I suppose is somewhat realistic, and they can't enter downstairs because there's no stairway. So it's very easy to create an area where zombies cannot access it. In fact, very, very easy. You just need a hammer to destroy the stairwell. However, I've done that. It seems like cheesing the game a little bit. I don't like it. And there's risks involved with the rope ladder because, well, you don't really know what's down there, for example. And while you're climbing down, there's always a chance something can run up to you and grab you. So there's a problem with entering and leaving. But it is possible. I've done that. I've done settlements where I've constructed proper walls around something, and yeah, all of those things I've done. And I don't want to just repeat a same build that I did before. I want to do something new. And something I haven't done before is I haven't done a Nomad playthrough with an RV. So you get an RV. With the RV Interiors mod, you can actually get inside an RV proper and, you know, set up home in it, essentially, right? You can do anything you want inside it. Reorganize furniture, put in different furniture, put in new stuff, remove stuff that's already there. It's just like a house, except it's inside a... Well, it's a mobile house, right? It's an RV. It works perfectly well. You have power in it, you have electricity because it's hooked up to the car and everything. You just need to fuel the car to keep it running. And generally speaking, it's not that difficult to find fuel. RV Interiors is a little bit overpowered in that there's no way zombies can get to you once you're inside the car. And by that I mean they can't like bust open the door or the window and climb in and attack you. Not in the game, unfortunately. There is a balancing act there where you can't go inside an RV if there's zombies nearby, but say you go to sleep and a bunch of zombies come by, they won't know you're in there and they won't even try and open the door. Which I guess in some instances is kind of realistic, because why would they just try and bust into a random RV if you haven't provoked them, right? If they haven't seen you in there. Makes sense, right? To me it does. It kind of makes sense to me, but yeah. Regardless of what you think about the mod, can I disinfect this again and... No? Who knows what I'm doing. Alright. I think it gets infected because I haven't changed the bandages regularly, but I really don't think it's been that long since I've changed bandages. To the point where it should get infected, but yeah, whatever. Alright, I am getting drowsy, and I'm going to get sleepy very, very soon. Because I know this game, and I know how it works. And so... I reckon what we should do is we should put a big old fat X right there on top of this thing and call it looted, even though there's probably a few things in there I haven't picked up, but nothing too important. And then I reckon we should try and find a nice safe spot to sleep. And it's probably going to be inside this building. So let's do just that. The road from drowsy to extremely sleepy is like 30 minutes at the most, maybe an hour. Yeah, you get sleepy extremely quickly with this setup. I think part of the reason why I'm getting sleepy so soon is the injuries. So they do add extra fatigue, I think. So I'm healing, I'm in pain, I've taken painkillers, I'm going to take more painkillers now, etc., etc. So, you know. That sort of contributes to some of the problems I have. Clean up these bandages. Drink some water. Lovely. And I would like to eat something like this canned spaghetti bolognese. Take a look. Current weight is 70. I want to get this up to 80, and then the underweight trait goes away. Actually, I want to get it just to 75. It's really, really simple to get it up to 75. Like I said, underweight is basically a free trait. It's very easy to get your weight up to 75, even when there's not a lot of food around, and you lose all the disadvantages of the trait, right? So, increased chance to fail a tall fence climb, that goes away. Cannot gain fitness XP towards level 10. I think that's just, like, literally towards level 10. So if you're 9 and you want to get towards 10, you can't get it. So it's not that big of a deal. 20% less melee damage. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. But, like I said, very quickly to go. And go ahead and fix that. Alright, tell you what. I'm going to go lay down and get some sleep. Let's see how that's going to work out for us. Oh, alright, none of our bandages are dirty, so I guess I'll go ahead and assume that I've healed up. Alright, we're in minor pain. That's also fine. Don't worry about that. I'm not really worried about littering because, well... I'm not going to stay here. Anyways, I never actually finished that sentence. I have two options. I have an RV, two options in terms of a base. I have an RV, which I can repair and all that good stuff. That'd be grand. The other option is a basement. I can actually build a basement. Basements aren't in the game, but they are a part of a mod. So I can actually build my own basement underground, and I will be perfectly safe in there as long as I, shut the doors and put on some nice fancy metal doors that zombies can't open. So the obvious problem there is, well, how do I get out and how do I know if there's zombies on the other end? What if a horde parks on top of my basement? Yep, that's a realistic issue. That's a problem you would have if you live inside a basement in the middle of, an apocalypse. It's a realistic problem that could happen, but yeah, it is an option, and I like the latter as well, because basements are a little bit bigger than RVs, and I like collecting stuff. I like collecting all kinds of stuff. Placing around the base and decorating is just, I love that. It gives you such a sense of accomplishment and stuff, but we'll see. For now, beggars can't be choosers. I'll take anything as things stand, but, I suppose we'll see later down the line. I'm gonna eat this actually, and usually I collect these magazines, but they're relatively heavy. And once I've read them, I'm not actually gonna, if this character dies, I'm not actually gonna move to a different character. So I don't need to save them up for a different character, and then once a character has read them, he has no use for those magazines ever again. So you can keep them around for a different character to come and loot them, but yeah, not really my thing, so I'm just going to toss them. And that's it. I think we're just going to rest here for a minute and continue, but I think this is a good spot to end the video as we're in a relatively safe area, and we have some red wine. Why not? I shall indeed partake. I am inebriated. Coordination slightly impaired. That'll do. That'll do. And we now have an empty bottle. Place that. Alright, lovely. I think we're just about ready to head out, but we're going to do that in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Like, subscribe down below if you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned with the rest of the series. Next time, have fun, take care, and bye-bye.